Genç Diplomasi Derneğimizin
Dear members of our Young Diplomacy Association, architects of our future, beloved youth, esteemed participants, I greet you all with my most heartfelt emotions, with respect and affection. Through you, I extend my greetings and love to all our young brothers and sisters in our 81 provinces, as well as in the diaspora and various corners of our heartland. I am deeply pleased to be with you at the closing ceremony of the Bosphorus Diplomacy Forum on the island of democracy and freedoms. At the outset of my remarks, I commemorate with mercy our martyrs, Prime Minister Adnan Menderes, Foreign Minister Faden Rushtu Zorlu, and Treasury and Finance Minister Hassan Palakin, who were subjected to oppression and torture here following the May 27th coup. May God grant peace to their souls and make their resting place paradise, inshallah. I am delighted to see it now hosting such gatherings with its new identity. For years, this island was etched in our nation's memory as the island of sorrow. I congratulate all members of our Young Diplomacy Association for successfully organizing the Bosphorus Diplomacy Forum this year, which stands out with its content and format. And I extend my thanks to every individual who contributed to this program. I sincerely thank our association for broadening the horizons of our youth through panels, conferences, workshops, and reading programs, bringing together today's leaders with tomorrow's architects. I hope that the events held over the 3 days of the forum will be beneficial, particularly for our youth devoted to international relations and diplomacy, and for all of us. I also commend the young friends who have developed their skills in representation, negotiation, and problem-solving at this significant forum held under the theme Diplomacy in the Light of History. I express my gratitude to the esteemed participants who meticulously share their knowledge and experience with our youth. I find it valuable to share the following with our young brothers and sisters here. The efforts of young people like you at the high school and university level, in a field that requires not only knowledge, but also depth, expertise, experience, and enthusiasm, are extremely important for our country's future. For our country's strong tomorrow, every young person who works selflessly, produces ideas and works, and strives to build the Turkey of the future is valuable to us. Each of you is a star of hope that brightens our future. In the century of Turkey, which we will not only shape but also mark with our own stamp, it will be the efforts and work of our youth that will bring it to life. In the years to come, I believe that each of you, through the roles you will assume in politics, academia, bureaucracy, media, civil society, and diplomacy will contribute greatly to our country, our nation, and especially to Turkish foreign policy, which will gain even greater significance. I wish you all success in advance, and I pray that God makes your path and fortune clear. Dear youth, esteemed participants, we are passing through a challenging and historic period in international politics, where tectonic shifts are occurring, so to speak. As the intensity of global competition increases day by day, a vortex of uncertainty and instability spreads in waves. Since crises and conflicts cannot be resolved peacefully, political and economic struggles, unfortunately, spill over into battlefields and war zones, resulting in great human tragedies. From water and climate crises to trade wars, from energy security to the proper functioning of food supply chains, we face numerous challenges. At the point we have reached today, we can clearly see the following picture. The order established by the victors after World War I has lost both its functionality and its credibility. Universal values have been shelved, governance mechanisms have failed, and the international system, which derives its legitimacy from rules and principles, has completely collapsed. Global peace and security have given way to an endless vortex of war and instability. The just are left alone against the unjust, the oppressed against the oppressor, the weak against the strong. Human rights and human dignity have been wounded, and emotions like justice, conscience, and compassion have been silenced. There is a massive systemic crisis that no one can deny. Yet, 80 years ago, the current global system was established to prevent another world war, another genocide, by learning from the lessons of the World War that took place in the 20th century. Mechanisms like the United Nations Security Council were intended to prevent wars, stop conflicts, and avert humanitarian disasters. However, at this point, the structures meant to be the key to solutions have become part of the problem and have been condemned to inertia. Dear youth, when we say the global system has failed, we're not saying this for the sake of rhetoric. On the contrary, as a country, we are located in a region that bears the entire burden of this failed system. Almost all the crises, tensions, genocides, conflicts, and oppressions dominating humanity's agenda today are taking place in this geography. Although Turkey rises as a beacon of stability in its region, it is not a country detached from these events. We all know very well that just as we cannot be at ease when our neighbor's house is on fire, We cannot be at peace when there is trouble in our region. Moreover, those struggling with crises and oppression are our brothers and sisters, our neighbors of 100 or 1,000 years. Can a person turn their back on their neighbor? Can a person remain indifferent to their brothers and sisters' troubles? Of course not. This country and this noble nation have never said, "It's not my concern," at any point in history. We have never turned our backs on our heartland. No matter where they come from, we have never closed our ears to cries for help. Regardless of distance, whether Muslim or non-Muslim, without looking at anyone's faith, sect, or origin, we have rushed to the aid of those who cried out for help. This was true yesterday, and it is true today. Even if everyone else remains indifferent, we cannot remain insensitive to the pain, oppression, and endless conflicts in our geography. Producing solutions and leading the way to solutions is our historical and moral responsibility. Every life lost in the streets of Gaza, Yemen, Syria, Sudan, and Somalia tears a piece from our own lives. You saw on the screen. You saw what is happening in Palestine. You saw how they struggle with pots and pans to get a bowl of soup or a plate of food. We feel the tragedy of the children fighting hunger deep in our hearts. Faced with this heart-wrenching scene, we put not only our hands, but often our entire selves into action. Dear youth, I want you and the young friends watching us on screens to know this. We have only one goal, and that is to ensure peace, tranquility, and stability in the region in a strong manner. As Turkey, we are striving to pave the way for this. With the state wisdom distilled over thousands of years, with our 500-year-old foreign policy tradition, with our growing economy, rooted institutions, and principled foreign policy, we are working to extinguish the fires in our geography. We never see foreign policy as a zero-sum game, and we wholeheartedly believe that peace, prosperity, and stability multiply when shared. One of the spiritual architects of Anatolia, Hazrat Mevlana, is attributed with the following wise saying, which is a fundamental reference for us in both domestic and foreign policy. That Sultan of Hearts says, "A candle does not lose any of its light by lighting another candle." Did you take note? These are important. Yes, this is the essence of the matter. The issue is not about fueling instability, escalating conflicts, or seeking to profit from them. It is about focusing on winning together. Seeking gain from others' tragedies is opportunism and heartlessness. It is profiteering. We have never been like that. and we never will be. I must also emphasize this. Turkey, without any complexes, in a manner befitting its history, civilization, and grandeur, is an actor that can engage with everyone working for peace, stability, tranquility, and justice, and is trusted by all. With our human-centered, proactive, entrepreneurial, and multidimensional foreign policy approach. We contribute as much as possible to resolving regional and global issues. For 14 years in our neighbor Syria, we have done this. We stood by the oppressed Syrians with all our means in the face of the Assad regime's tyranny. Even when many countries turned their backs on the Syrian people, we never left them alone. Similarly, we did this during the Russia-Ukraine war. While war barons poured fuel on the fire, we worked for just peace. Now we're doing the same in Palestine and Gaza. Dear young brothers and sisters, you're closely following this as well. For 2 years in Gaza, a horrific and shameful genocide has been unfolding before the eyes of the entire world. Netanyahu and his massacre crew are targeting Palestinian civilians with the most advanced weapons. They are raining bombs on the innocent. In Gaza, the elderly, children, and even babies in incubators are being mercilessly killed by this massacre gang. In Gaza, hunger is being recklessly used as a weapon of mass destruction. Healthcare workers trying to save lives and journalists documenting the genocide are being killed in front of the world's eyes. But what happened? Yesterday, at the United Nations Security Conference, that murderer named Netanyahu was forced to speak to empty seats. Do not take the curse of the oppressed. It will come back slowly but surely. Since May 27th, over 2,500 Palestinians have been killed at so-called aid distribution points. More than 18,500 people have been injured. Since October 7th, nearly 66,000 Palestinians, mostly children and women, have been martyred in Gaza. The number of injured is close to 170,000. We have opened our hospitals and are treating these wounded in our facilities. Our doors are open in this regard. We are providing and will continue to provide all kinds of support. Countless pains, dramas, and massacres that do not make it to the media are taking place in Palestine. Yet, the reactions and cries rising from conscientious people around the world are instilling hope in Palestine and Gaza. Look, while we're holding this diplomacy forum here, the Sumud fleet in the Mediterranean has raised its sails and is heading toward Gaza. Activists and volunteers from different countries faiths and colors, but with conscience, unarmed, are bringing aid to Gaza. From here, we send our greetings to the hope-bearing passengers of the Sumud fleet who are facing Israel's state terrorism. We pray that Almighty God keeps their path clear and protects them. Dear youth, dear brothers and sisters, do not forget, if the oppressors have a plan, God also has a plan, and that plan will ultimately prevail. Seek refuge in God, in the name of God. They plotted, but God also plotted, and God is the best of planners. This account is entirely different. No plan can stand above God's plan. We have experienced this. We are experiencing it. And inshallah, we will continue to experience it. Many losses have been suffered in Gaza. The oppressed people of Gaza have paid a heavy price. 2.5 million people confined to 365 square kilometers have been subjected to one of the most brutal genocides in history. Yet, despite all this destruction and savagery, the Gaza genocide has also sparked a global awakening. As I mentioned earlier, the head of the genocide network could not find anyone to listen to his lies and threats at the United Nations General Assembly yesterday, and he spoke to empty seats. Those who have been turning a blind eye until now are beginning to wake up from their slumber of negligence. Those who reduce the Gaza issue to Hamas are slowly realizing that the reality is far different. It is becoming clearer day by day that Israel's issue is not just with Gaza. The attack on Qatar, in particular, has revealed Israel's true intentions. It has once again been seen that this monster must be stopped. The increase in the number of states recognizing Palestine is driven by the global awakening caused by Gaza. As you know, this number has now exceeded 150. It is a fact that recognizing Palestine, even if late, is an important step. We only welcome with appreciation any step back from the wrongs done to our Palestinian brothers and sisters for decades. However, we cannot help but ask, could these steps not have been taken earlier? Could Palestine not have been supported before 65,000 innocents were killed? Could Palestine not have been officially recognized before it was rendered unrecognizable by the massacre crew? I know some will be disturbed, but we are obliged to ask these questions. For Israeli aggression to be stopped, those responsible must undertake this self-criticism. I believe it is essential for everyone to engage in this reckoning within themselves so that the blood of innocent Gazans is not shed in vain. Otherwise, the blood of innocent children, women,
mutlaka yapılması gerekiyor.
and people will continue to be a victim of
Dökülen
political
kanlarının
calculations.
boşa gitmemesi için herkesin
Without stopping
dünyasında
Israel,
bu hesaplaşmayı yapmasının
the will to establish a Palestinian state will remain
değilse
incomplete.
masum çocukların, kadınların,
First and foremost,
insanların kanı siyasi
the Netanyahu
hesapların
cabinet
kurbanı
and the
olmaya
genocide crew
devam edecektir. İsrail durdurulmadan
must be
Filistin
immediately
devleti için
tried and
konulan
punished.
irade eksik kalacaktır.
Deterrent
Başta
sanctions
Netanyahu, kabinesi ve soykırım kadrosu derhal yargılanmalı ve cezalandırılmalıdır.
including exclusion from international sports tournaments, must be imposed on Israel. The decision taken by Spain cannot be ignored.
İspanya'nın aldığı karar bir kenara konulamaz.
Our Football Federation president has also taken a stance on this issue, and we will certainly evaluate it. Economically, the measures Turkey has taken against Israel in trade and other areas should serve as an example to other countries. They too must start taking similar steps. Otherwise, the chaos will not remain confined within the borders of the Middle East. This fire will engulf the entire world. We will continue to work to prevent the flames from spreading further and to ensure peace and tranquility in our region. Young people, I see this in your eyes. May God be our helper and supporter. With these thoughts, I once again hope that the Bosphorus Diplomacy Forum will lead to auspicious outcomes. I extend my thanks again to everyone who contributed to the program. I wish all our youth success in their endeavors and congratulate each of them individually. I greet you once again with love and respect. I see you as the young people who will transform the island of sorrow into a strong island of democracy and freedoms. Stay well, stay strong, and may you be entrusted to God.